So back to me catching up on some older movies that I needed and I wanted to review. This is one of them. Sorry for the little wonky funky photo. I guess because it's an older film, I couldn't find anything better. In any case, Miwa is the mother of Zira, who's the little girl on the right. And basically, one day they're in a grocery store, and then the girl just runs up to John. John is with his girlfriend though, and it turns out that John, this guy in the store, is literally the carbon copy of her dead husband, Zira's dad. So she walks up to him, runs up to him rather, thinking that that's her dad. John is kind of confused. Miwa's confused. She thinks he's a ghost. Half the time, I think the friend didn't see the first time, so I don't even think the friend believed. She thought she was crazy. She kept feeling like she was seeing John everywhere now. Well, her husband's name was Damilola. I forget what the John's name in this film is, the actual real guy alive. I forgot his name, but he's from Delta State. He's not Yoruba. So half the film, she thought that he was fake and she was having visions and she was seeing a ghost. But then they run into him at a restaurant and she basically crashes out. And then she realizes like, oh my God, you're not real. You're not a ghost. Like she thinks that it's now her husband, that like he's reincarnated or maybe he didn't die. Like she's struggling with a lot. And John is trying to be nice. Initially, he thinks she's crazy and that she's stalking him, but the friend eventually ends up explaining to him that like he's the carbon copy of her late husband. So he actually then gets it. He sees why she's acting the way she's acting. But at the end of the day, he has a girlfriend that he's trying to maintain a relationship with, and now he's trying to navigate Miwa and her daughter. It's a little hard for him as well, but he's trying to be nice. He wants to be there a little bit for the girl just to like ease the pain of the loss. So he like starts getting close to them, but initially for the girl's sake, because she's like, oh, daddy, daddy, daddy. So he takes them out, he hangs out with the daughter, he buys her gifts and stuff like that. But obviously now he has to interact with Miwa because that's her mom. And it's like, are they going to be able to just maintain like a friendly barrier, almost like co-parenting in a way, like not that he's her dad, but obviously he wants to be there for the girl. He feels a little has a little soft spot for her due to the situation. So are they going to be able to just coexist in a friendly space, or is it going to turn sour where Miwa has resentment towards him because she thinks he's her husband and he's lying and he's trying to move on with a new girl because he has a girlfriend? Or is it going to be, like because they're hanging out together, they start to become friendly and a little bit more than friendly? Like there's so many ways the story could go, so you should watch and find out. But it was a cool story. Like it was different. Like he literally was the exact carbon copy of her husband. So now it's almost like her wounds and her trauma is being reignited, and she has to now learn to really navigate that, because I don't think that she initially ever got over the death of her husband, and now it's almost like she does have to kind of work through that because John is constantly in her face right now, especially because he's trying to get to know and be there for her daughter. But it was really, really nice. I liked the storyline. I liked the plot. I liked the ending. It was cool. It was a cool movie. I'd give it like a solid B+.